Take a moment to notice where you are right now. Maybe you are lying in bed, the lights dimmed, your body finally beginning to rest after a long day. Maybe you're listening with headphones, letting this be your quiet escape from the noise and rush of daily life. Wherever you are, this moment belongs to you. This is your time to pause, to breathe, and to allow your mind to wander. You don't need to do anything at all, just listen. Let the sound of my voice carry you, like a gentle current guiding you deeper into a river of calm. With every breath, you can feel your body soften a little more, and your thoughts begin to slow. Tonight, we're going to travel together, not across oceans or mountains, or the roads you know, but outward, far beyond the world you call home. We are going to explore what exists above and below the solar system, and in doing so, discover just how extraordinary the universe truly is. But before we begin, let's prepare ourselves. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it out gently. Feel the weight of your body supported by your bed, your chair, or wherever you rest. Notice how safe you are in this very moment. Nothing is required of you. Nothing is urgent. The universe can wait. You are exactly where you are meant to be. When you were a child, did you ever lie in the grass at night and look up at the stars? Do you remember that feeling of wonder? The sense that you were staring into something endless, something so much bigger than yourself. Tonight, we are going to return to that feeling, not with a hurried curiosity of the day, but with the slow and peaceful rhythm of night. We are going to peel back the layers of space, one by one, until you can sense the immense structure that surrounds us. The solar system, our cosmic homes, just the beginning. You already know the planets, the moons, the comets, the asteroids. But beyond that lies more. Above and below, in every direction, there are structures, flows, and mysteries waiting to be uncovered. And even though space is not truly up or down, it comforts the human mind to imagine it that way as. If we are lying on a blanket, looking upward into infinity, or sinking downward into depths no one has ever reached. Together, we'll use those directions as a guide while knowing that in reality, the universe is everywhere, in all directions at once. So what exists above the solar system? What surrounds us beyond the familiar circle of planets? What structures cradle our galaxy, and what invisible forces shape the stars, and what exists below? Not in a literal sense, but in the sense of diving deeper, closer, into the unseen layers of cosmic space that hug us quietly, almost secretly. As you listen, allow these questions to drift in your mind like soft clouds. There is no rush to answer them. You don't need to memorize facts or strain to remember numbers. Just let each description paint a picture in your imagination, the way a dream forms behind your eyelids. Imagine yourself slowly leaving Earth. At first, you can still see the continents, the oceans, the clouds curling in the atmosphere. Then Earth grows smaller. The moon slides past, a silent companion. One by one, the planets of our solar system drift into view. Fiery Mars, the gas giants with their swirling storms, the icy giants further still. Soon, even Pluto becomes just a faint speck, and then even that disappears. Now you are beyond, floating in a place that feels empty, yet is alive with invisible boundaries. The solar system does not simply stop where the last planet ends, round. It stretches the heliosphere, a vast bubble blown by the solar wind, where charged particles from our sun collide with the surrounding interstellar medium. At its edge lies the heliopause, the true frontier between our sun's influence and the rest of the galaxy. This is where humanity's farthest spacecraft, the Voyagers, are now. Tiny messengers carrying whispers of Earth, drifting in silence through a sea so vast it almost defies comprehension. When you think of yourself lying in bed, your heart beating quietly in the dark, remember that somewhere out there, two little machines built by human hands are carrying pieces of our story into eternity. And the thought of that, somehow, makes the universe feel both impossibly large and unexpectedly close. Above the solar system, beyond the heliopause, we step into our neighborhood of stars. This is the local interstellar cloud, and further still, the local bubble, a giant cavity carved out by ancient supernova explosions. It is a region of low density gas, shaped by the violent past of stars that lived and died long before the Earth even formed. Imagine that, our solar system floating not in emptiness, but inside a bubble blown by the death of stars millions of years ago. You are literally wrapped in the history of the galaxy, surrounded by the silent remains of cosmic events. And yet, from where you rest now, none of that is visible. All you see is the dark ceiling above, maybe dotted with a few faint stars if you're lucky enough to glimpse the night sky. But your mind can travel further. You can picture the Milky Way galaxy, its spiral arms winding like a glowing river of light. You can imagine the galactic center, a place of furious energy where a black hole waits with unimaginable gravity. Above and below the galactic disk stretch halos of stars and dark matter vast, unseen layers holding everything together. Already, we are so far from Earth, and yet this is only the beginning. The universe has more to reveal. Our galaxy is just one of billions, woven into the filaments of a cosmic web that stretches across the observable universe. Galaxies gather into clusters, clusters into superclusters, and superclusters into the threads and voids of something even greater. To lie here and think of it is to feel both very small and very infinite. And as you let these thoughts drift, notice your body. Notice how your breath has slowed. Notice how heavy your eyelids feel. You don't need to resist sleep if it comes. This journey will continue, whether you are fully awake or gently dreaming. In fact, dreams might be the best way to travel through such an endless universe. So, let go. Allow yourself to be both the traveler and the dreamer. Tonight, above and below the solar system, we will explore everything that surrounds us. From the closest edges of our star's influence to the largest structures ever discovered. Along the way, you may fall asleep, and that's perfectly fine. The universe will still be here when you wake. As you rest here tonight, imagine drifting outward from Earth, leaving behind the familiar glow of cities and the quiet rhythm of your own world. With every breath, you float farther away, as if your body has become weightless, carried on a gentle current into the greater ocean of space. At first, the solar system feels familiar, planets circling, moons following, comets sweeping through elongated paths. But as we move beyond the planets, a new kind of mystery begins. The solar system does not end where textbooks place the last planet. It continues, stretching outward into hidden regions that very few ever stop to think about. The first of these regions is the Kuiper Belt. Imagine a wide, icy plain circling the Sun beyond Neptune. Here, countless small worlds drift, frozen relics left over from the birth of our solar system. Pluto lives here, along with other dwarf planets such as Haumea, Makemake, and Eris. These worlds are far smaller than the Earth, but they carry secrets of the early solar nebula, a time when dust and gas swirled together to form everything we know. As you picture this belt, think of it not as a solid ring, but as a loose scattering of icy fragments, stretching billions of kilometers across. Each fragment is locked in a slow dance, orbiting the Sun, untouched for billions of years. Silence reigns here. If you could stand on one of these icy objects and look up, the Sun would appear only as a bright star in a field of countless others. Beyond the Kuiper Belt lies something even larger, even more mysterious: the Oort cloud. This cloud is not a cloud as you might imagine, soft and misty, but rather a vast spherical swarm of icy bodies. It is believed to extend almost a light year away from the Sun. That is nearly a quarter of the distance to the nearest star. No spacecraft has ever reached the Oort cloud. It remains a theory, supported by the long-period comets that sometimes fall into the inner solar system, carrying with them the icy fingerprints of this distant region. To imagine it is to picture a cosmic shell surrounding us from every direction, filled with frozen wanderers waiting silently in the dark. And yet, the Oort cloud is still not the true edge. Around the Sun, like a protective bubble, stretches the heliosphere. This is a vast region carved out by the solar wind, the constant stream of charged particles flowing outward from our star. The heliosphere shields us from much of the interstellar radiation beyond. It is our Sun's invisible armor, bubble of influence, surrounding everything we know. Where the solar wind finally collides with the thin gas between the stars lies the heliopause. This is often described as the real boundary of the solar system. Beyond it, the Sun's power fades and the interstellar medium takes over. This is the frontier, the outer gate, the place where our small solar bubble gives way to the galaxy itself. And tonight, as you breathe, you can picture yourself floating there at the edge of everything familiar, staring out into the unknown. Asterisk, now that we are standing at the edge of the heliosphere, let's pause and imagine the view. Behind us lies everything we have ever known: the moon, the planets, the glowing warmth of the Sun. Ahead of us lies the interstellar sea, vast and silent, stretching to the nearest stars. This boundary is not a wall but a transition, a soft blending of two different worlds: the world shaped by our Sun and the world shaped by the galaxy. It is here that humanity has already placed its silent messengers. The Voyager spacecraft, launched in the late 1970s, are now drifting through this mysterious frontier. Each one carries a golden recorder time capsule with music, voices and sounds of Earth, chosen to represent our planet to any who might one day find them. Imagine that for a moment. Two tiny machines built by human hands, carrying whispers of our world into an ocean of darkness. They travel farther each second. It's farther than any human eye will ever see. The heliopause is like the shoreline of an invisible beach. The waves of the solar wind finally meet the greater tide of the galaxy, and the currents shift. Inside, the Sun rules. Outside, the galaxy does. In this way, the solar system is not just a collection of planets, but a vast bubble of influence stretching billions of kilometers outward, protecting the life within. But even beyond the heliopause, the story continues. The solar system is wrapped not only by the Oort cloud and the heliosphere, but by the ancient memory of the stars that came before us. Scientists believe that our Sun was born in a cluster, surrounded by siblings that have long since drifted away. Some of the comets in the Oort cloud may even have been stolen from those siblings. Reminder that the solar system itself is part of a larger family, shaped by encounters we can only imagine as you drift here in your mind. Picture yourself floating weightlessly in this great borderland. No sound reaches you. The nearest object of real size may be billions of kilometers away. Yet you are not truly alone. The galaxy itself surrounds you, invisible but present, its light and energy filtering gently into this silent space. In truth, there is no clear end to the solar system. It simply fades, its influence thinning as it merges with the galaxy. Just as the shoreline blends into the sea, our Sun's reach blends into the greater universe. Above, below, in every direction, there is always more. More stars, more mysteries, more structures waiting quietly beyond. And here, at this outer edge, we prepare to take the next step. Beyond the heliopause lies our galactic neighborhood, the place where stars drift like islands in a vast cosmic ocean. That will be our next destination. But for now, allow yourself to rest at this boundary. Feel the stillness, the calm, the quiet majesty of standing at the edge of home. Take another deep breath. Let your body sink into comfort. Know that as vast as the universe may be, you are safely nestled inside it, carried along by the same gentle currents that guide the stars. And as we continue this journey together, let your imagination remain open, steady, and at peace. As we leave behind the protective bubble of the heliosphere, we begin to notice that the darkness of space is not truly empty. It is sprinkled with neighbors' distant suns that shine with their own warmth and light. The solar system is not an isolated island. It rests within a neighborhood of stars, a small family bound together by the quiet fabric of the Milky Way galaxy. The closest of these neighbors is Proxima Centauri. It's part of the Alpha Centauri system. At just over 4 light-years away, it is the nearest star to our Sun, though even that distance is almost unimaginably vast. A light-year is the distance light travels in 1 year, nearly 10 trillion kilometers. So when you look up at the night sky and see a star shining back at you, you are seeing light that has traveled years, centuries, sometimes millennia, just to reach your eyes. Every star is a message from the past. The Alpha Centauri system is especially fascinating because it is not 1 star, but 3. 2 bright stars, Alpha Centauri A and B, orbit one another like a cosmic dance, while Proxima Centauri, a faint red dwarf, lingers farther out. Around Proxima, we have discovered planets, some within the so-called habitable zone, where liquid water might exist. To imagine life circling the star closest to us is to feel that the universe may not be as empty as it seems, but Alpha Centauri is just the beginning. As we drift farther, we find ourselves in what astronomers call the local stellar neighborhood. This is the region of space within a few dozen light-years of the Sun where hundreds of stars live. Some are bright and familiar, like Sirius, the brightest star in our night sky. Others are small, cool red dwarfs, invisible to the naked eye, but by far the most common type of star in the galaxy. Picture it. If you could float far above the Milky Way and look down at this neighborhood, the stars would appear scattered like glowing embers across a great, dark field. The Sun would be just one ember among many, no more or less special than the others. And yet, to us, it is everything: our warmth, our light, our life. This neighborhood is not empty space, but a sea of subtle structures. Our solar system moves through what is called the local interstellar cloud, a patch of thin gas and dust left behind by ancient stars. Beyond it lies the local bubble, a larger cavity carved long ago by supernova explosions. Imagine drifting through a vast cosmic chamber, its walls invisible but shaped by the violent deaths of stars that lived before the Sun was even born. That is where we are right now, quietly sailing through the memory of ancient fire. And as you think of this neighborhood, know that it is not fixed. The Sun itself is moving, carrying Earth and all its planets with it, circling the center of the galaxy. The stars we see today will not always be our neighbors. Over millions of years, they shift and drift, new stars moving closer, others fading away into the distance. Even our neighborhood changes, slowly, gently. Like clouds drifting across a cosmic sky. Asterisk, let us drift a little deeper into this neighborhood of stars. Imagine yourself gliding slowly, weightlessly, as though the fabric of space is carrying you forward. Around you, the stars shine not as tiny pinpoints, but as great glowing spheres of fire, each one a sun in its own right, each one with the potential to host worlds as rich and complex as our own. One of the most dazzling neighbors is Sirius, often called the dog star. It is twice as massive as our Sun and shines over 20 times brighter. On a clear winter night, you may have seen it blazing with an unmistakable sparkle. Yet Sirius is not alone. It has a faint companion, a white dwarf known as Sirius B, this small, dense remnant is the core of a once mighty star, now compressed into a body no larger than Earth, yet with a mass nearly equal to the Sun's. To look at Sirius is to see both the vitality of a living star and the quiet dignity of one that has already passed through its life cycle. Another striking neighbor is Barnard's star, a faint red dwarf only 6 light-years away. Though invisible to the naked eye, it is famous for its rapid motion across the sky. If you could watch for centuries, you would see it slowly shift its position against the background stars, reminding us that nothing in the cosmos is still. Even the heavens are alive with movement, subtle and steady. And then there is Vega, the bright star in the constellation Lyra. Just 25 light-years away, Vega has long captured human imagination. It was once our North Star, and in about 12,000 years, it will be again, as Earth's axis slowly wobbles in its eternal cycle. The sky, it seems, is not fixed, but always changing, reshaping itself over spans of time longer than human history. Most of the stars nearby, however, are far humbler. Red dwarfs dominate, their light dim and cool, their lifespans stretching into trillions of years, far longer than the age of the universe itself. If life is common in the galaxy, perhaps it thrives around these quiet suns, orbiting worlds we have yet to discover. Some of our closest neighbors, such as Ross 128 and Wolf 359, are of this kind. Faint, steady, enduring. When you imagine this neighborhood, think of it not as distant points, but as a gentle scattering of glowing companions. Each star carries its own system of planets, asteroids, comets, and dust. Each one could hold stories we have not yet heard. And together they form a kind of family, our extended neighborhood in the grand city of the Milky Way. As you breathe slowly now, let the thought comfort you. The solar system is not alone. We are part of a living community of stars, bound together by gravity and time, moving together around the heart of the galaxy. The night sky above you is not a cold emptiness, it is the quiet hum of neighbors shining from across the dark, keeping us company in the vastness of space. As we let our thoughts drift even farther from the familiar planets and the stars we recognize, we arrive at a wider perspective, our galactic neighborhood. Just as you may walk through your own neighborhood and recognize familiar houses, streets, or perhaps the sound of children playing in a nearby park, the solar system too exists inside a neighborhood. It is not an isolated island in a void, but rather one home among many. Within a community of stars and interstellar clouds, the Sun is one of roughly 100 to 400 billion stars that populate the Milky Way galaxy. From Earth, we only see a fraction of these stars with the naked eye. Yet on clear nights, the band of the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a gentle ribbon of light. What you are seeing in those moments is not just a scattering of stars, but the luminous plane of our galaxy itself. A reminder that we are embedded in something far larger than our solar bubble. Our galactic neighborhood begins with a local bubble, a region of space roughly 1,000 light-years across that the Sun currently resides in. This bubble is not empty. Rather, it is filled with thin, hot plasma, thought to be the remnant of ancient supernova explosions that cleared out dust and gas in this region millions of years ago. Imagine walking through the ruins of a city, where structures once stood, but now only traces remain. This is the environment the solar system drifts through now, shaped by the violent deaths of massive stars long before humans even existed. Within this bubble, the Sun shares its cosmic block with other nearby stars. The closest of these is the Alpha Centauri system, just over 4 light-years away, consisting of 2 Sun-like stars orbiting each other, along with a smaller red dwarf known as Proxima Centauri. These neighbors are close in astronomical terms, yet unimaginably distant in human experience. If you were to travel there in a modern spacecraft, it would take tens of thousands of years. Still, in the language of the galaxy, they are right next door, beyond individual stars. Our neighborhood also includes clusters and associations. For example, the Pleiades, sometimes called the Seven Sisters, is a young and bright star cluster visible with the naked eye. From our solar system's perspective, The Pleiades sits roughly 444 light-years away, a collection of siblings born together in the same stellar nursery. Clusters like these remind us that stars often form in families, emerging from vast clouds of gas and dust before dispersing across the galaxy. And then there are the darker shapes, the interstellar clouds. These enormous cold reservoirs of molecular hydrogen and dust drift like cosmic fog between the stars. The Orion Molecular Cloud Complex, for instance, is a giant star-forming region within our galactic neighborhood. When we look up at Orion's belt in the night sky, we are not just seeing three aligned stars, we are peering into a massive factory of stellar creation, where new suns are being born, destined to one day light their own planetary systems. In this first half of our exploration, we begin to recognize that our solar system is not floating in solitude, but immersed in an interconnected neighborhood. The stars we see twinkling at night are companions, some near, some far, all sharing the galactic tapestry. Each of them carries their own stories, their own planets, and perhaps even their own mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Take a moment to breathe and imagine this. You are lying back, your eyes closed, and around you stretches a vast city of stars, each glowing softly like lanterns in the night. You are part of this city, part of this grand neighborhood of light. It is vast, yet it is home. Now that we have set the scene, let us move deeper into the structures that define our neighborhood. To orient ourselves in the galaxy, astronomers have mapped out the spiral arms of the Milky Way. Our sun is located in a smaller feature known as the Orion Arm, or Orion Spur, which lies between two larger arms, the Sagittarius Arm and the Perseus Arm. If the Milky Way were a great wheel of stars, spinning slowly in cosmic time, then our solar system is like a small bead set into one of the spokes. This Orion Arm is not just an empty corridor. It contains many of the most familiar features of our night sky: the Orion Nebula, the bright star Sirius, the Horsehead Nebula, and the previously mentioned Pleiades. All of these lie along this arm, filling it with familiar celestial landmarks. It is as if we live in a neighborhood rich with history and culture, where every corner holds a story worth telling. Zooming out further, astronomers group nearby stars into larger associations known as moving groups or stellar associations. These are like clusters that have grown apart over time, but whose stars still travel together, bound by their shared origin. Our sun is thought to be part of a larger stellar stream, remnants of past star clusters that dissolved over billions of years. These streams hint that stars are not born randomly, but emerge together, like siblings in a family, only to drift apart across the eons, beyond the immediate stars. We begin to notice the interstellar medium that fills our neighborhood. This medium is not truly empty, but sprinkled with atoms, particles, magnetic fields, and cosmic rays, though far thinner than the best vacuum we can create on Earth. This interstellar air carries within it the seeds of new generations of stars. Over immense timescales, clouds condense, collapse, and ignite into new stellar nurseries. It is a cycle of creation and transformation, reminding us that the galaxy itself is alive with change. And perhaps the most humbling realization is this: our solar system is just one among billions of others. Every bright point of light you see in the night sky is not only a star, but potentially a system with its own planets, moons, and perhaps even life. We are not the only neighborhood, but part of a vast galactic metropolis. If our solar system is a house, then the galaxy is a city, and the universe, well, that is something we will reach in later chapters. As you let these thoughts settle, imagine drifting outward gently, as though floating above a familiar street, rising higher and higher. The streetlights, the houses, the roads each become smaller, blending into patterns. Soon, the entire neighborhood is beneath you, glowing softly, peaceful, and serene. That is what it feels like to look at the Milky Way from afar, to know that we are inside a shimmering spiral of stars, one home among countless others. Let these images carry you into a sense of calm. For even though the scale is vast, there is comfort in belonging to something so grand, so timeless. Our galactic neighborhood is not something to fear, but something to embrace, a reminder that wherever you are already a part of the universe's greatest story. Asterisk. Now that we've explored our immediate surroundings, our local bubble, our stellar neighbors, and the Orion Armet, it's time to expand our perspective once more. Let us picture the entire Milky Way galaxy, the grand spiral of stars in which all of these smaller neighborhoods exist. Imagine drifting outward, farther than ever before. The familiar constellations fade, the sun and its nearby stars shrink to points. And suddenly, you are no longer standing in a neighborhood, but gazing down at a sprawling city. That city is our galaxy, and it is astonishing in both beauty and scale. The Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy, stretching roughly 100,000 light-years across. If you were to travel at the speed of light, the fastest speed allowed by the laws of physics, it would take you 100,000 years just to cross from one side to the other. And yet, from our perspective on Earth, all of this vastness appears as a soft, glowing band across the night sky. The ribbon of light we see is the collective shine of billions of stars, packed together in the galactic disk. The galaxy is not just stars, of course. It contains gas clouds, nebulae, clusters, dark matter, and mysterious structures that scientists are still learning to measure. At its very heart lies something even more remarkable, a supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A*. This invisible object, 4 million times the mass of our Sun, anchors the galaxy. Stars orbit around it like dancers circling a hidden stage. Though we cannot see the black hole directly, astronomers have detected its presence through the orbits of nearby stars and, most recently, through radio imaging. Think of it as the quiet center of a bustling metropolis. Around it, lanes of spiral arms sweep outward, filled with hundreds of billions of stars. These arms are not static. They are like great rivers of matter, flowing slowly, carrying stars and nebulae along with them. Our Sun, too, is caught in this flow, orbiting the galaxy once every 225 million years. This means that since the time of the dinosaurs, the solar system has only made about one trip around the galactic center. The Milky Way is structured like a great disk, flat and wide, but surrounding this disk is a much fainter halo of stars and dark matter. In this halo are globular clusters, ancient collections of stars, some of the oldest in the galaxy. These clusters are like time capsules, containing stars that formed more than 10 billion years ago, shining still with steady light. To observe them is to look deep into the history of our galaxy, to see relics from an era when the Milky Way itself was still taking shape. If you close your eyes now, picture the galaxy not as a distant fact, but as a luminous spiral, glowing in the darkness. You are inside this spiral, a tiny part of its grand design. The Milky Way is not just out there, it is your home, your cosmic city, turning slowly in the night. The more closely we study the Milky Way, the more astonishing it becomes. Take, for instance, the sheer number of planetary systems it contains. With hundreds of billions of stars, and most stars now believed to host planets, the Milky Way is filled with worlds beyond counting. Many of these planets orbit within what astronomers call the habitable zone, where conditions might allow liquid water to exist. Somewhere among them, life may be looking back at the stars, wondering as we do what lies above and below their skies. Another layer of the galaxy's wonder lies in its stellar diversity. Our Sun is a fairly average star, but within the Milky Way are extremes far beyond imagination. Some stars burn so brightly that they make the Sun look dim by comparison. Others, like red dwarfs, glow faintly for trillions of years. There are giants, dwarfs, pulsars, and even remnants of dead stars, white dwarfs, and neutron stars that pepper the galaxy like ancient monuments. Then there is the dark matter halo, an invisible component that outweighs all the stars and gas combined. Though we cannot see it, dark matter exerts its gravity across the galaxy, holding it together, preventing the outer stars from flying off into space. In this way, the Milky Way is shaped not only by what is visible, but by a hidden framework, a cosmic skeleton that supports its form. Surrounding us, too, are rivers of stars known as stellar streams, the remnants of smaller galaxies that the Milky Way has consumed. Over billions of years, our galaxy has grown by merging with others, drawing them into its arms and leaving faint trails of their stars behind. This is a reminder that galaxies themselves are not static, but evolve, collide, and transform across cosmic history. And perhaps most humbling is the realization that the Milky Way, for all its grandeur, is but one among many. Billions of galaxies fill the universe, each with its own billions of stars. Yet for us, the Milky Way is everything we know is the stage upon which the entire drama of human existence has played out. Every thought, every dream, every story ever told has unfolded under its spiral arms. As you lie here listening, imagine yourself not as small, but as connected. Your body, your breath, even the atoms that make you carbon, oxygen, iron, were forged in the hearts of stars within this galaxy. You are literally made of the Milky Way, a living expression of its long and intricate history. Let that thought carry you gently, like a lullaby. For as vast as the galaxy is, you are part of it, inseparable from its story. The Milky Way is not distant, it is you, and you are it. As we have drifted outward through our local stellar neighborhood and glimpsed the full scale of the Milky Way, it is time to imagine the galaxy in 3 dimensions. So far, we have pictured it largely as a flat spiral, a luminous disk of stars stretching across space. But just like Earth has mountains and valleys, the galaxy has vertical structure, regions above and below its plane, spaces that are less crowded, yet no less significant. The galactic plane is where most of the Milky Way stars, gas clouds, and nebulae are concentrated. If you could rise high above it, you would see the spiral arms stretching outward, ribbons of light glowing in an otherwise dark canvas. The density of stars diminishes as you move away from this plane, like stepping out of a bustling city into the quiet countryside. And just as a quiet countryside offers space for reflection, so too does the vertical dimension of the galaxy offer cosmic breathing room. Above and below the galactic plane lie the galactic halo and the thick disk. These regions are sparsely populated by stars, often older and cooler than those in the plane. Among them drift globular clusters, dense spherical groups of ancient stars that orbit the galaxy's center in paths far above or below the spiral disk. They are like silent sentinels, remnants of the Milky Way's earliest times, floating high above the crowded streets of stars in the main disk. As you visualize this, imagine slowly floating upward, leaving the crowded disk behind. The bright, concentrated clusters of stars fade, replaced by subtle glimmers scattered in every direction. You feel the vast emptiness, yet it is a comforting emptiness space that has room for wonder, space that invites stillness. Here, the galaxy feels alive, not bustling, but breathing slowly, with layers moving in gentle rhythm. Even in this quieter space, the Milky Way is not empty. Streams of stars, torn from smaller galaxies that were absorbed long ago, trace paths through the halo. These stellar streams are faint, delicate ribbons of light, stretching for thousands of light years. They remind us that galaxies are dynamic, evolving structures. Stars above and below the plane are travelers, ancient relics, and witnesses to events that happened billions of years before humanity existed in the halo. the stars themselves shine with stories. Many are metal poor, lacking heavier elements, which means they formed in the early universe, before successive generations of stars had created the elements that now compose planets and life. By imagining yourself drifting through this region, you are touching history itself, a silent observer of a cosmic time machine that stretches back to the beginnings of the galaxy. The thick disk lies closer to the galactic plane than the halo, but still rises above and below it. Here, stars are older than those in the thin disk, yet younger than those in the halo. The thick disk is less dense, allowing a feeling of openness, a space where you can see farther, where light travels unbroken by clouds of gas or thick clusters of stars. If you could hover in this region, you might feel the calm majesty of a universe stretching beyond comprehension, even beyond the disk. Vast clouds of interstellar gas drift, forming filaments and shapes that hint at hidden activity. Some are birthing new stars, small pockets of energy and warmth in an otherwise cold expanse. Others are remnants of past events, supernova that exploded millions of years ago, sending shockwaves into the surrounding space. Floating here, you feel the galaxy's heartbeat. Subtle but steady, a rhythm that has endured since the earliest times. Astronomers have also discovered high-velocity stars in these regions, stars moving at incredible speeds, often ejected from the dense galactic plane by gravitational encounters. As you imagine these stars gliding above and below the plane, their motion feels like a delicate dance, a choreography of cosmic forces invisible to the naked eye. These stars remind us that even in emptiness, movement and life continue, quiet but persistent. In fact, the vertical structure of the galaxy, the thin disk, thick disk, and halo creates a natural sense of layering, a hierarchy of space that stretches in all directions. It gives depth to our understanding of the Milky Way. It is not just a flat spiral. It is a complex, dynamic, three-dimensional world, with room for energy, history, and motion above, below, and within. As you imagine yourself drifting through these regions, let yourself feel small, yet connected. The halo and thick disk are quiet spaces, perfect for reflection, yet they are intrinsically part of the galaxy's story. They remind us that even in the spaces we cannot see directly, there is structure, history, and meaning. Take a deep breath now and picture the galaxy as a grand, living organism. The spiral arms rotate, the halo glimmers faintly, and above and below the plane, ancient stars drift in slow, deliberate motion. You are floating in a cosmic embrace, suspended in the wonder of it all. Here, in the vertical expanse of the Milky Way, there is peace, there is calm, and there is infinite beauty. As we continue our journey through the vastness of space, it is time to expand our perspective even further. So far, we have wandered through our solar system, observed the stars of our local neighborhood, and floated through the layers of the Milky Way. But the universe is not confined to our galaxy alone. Beyond the Milky Way, countless other galaxies form a vast cosmic cityscape, each with its own stars, planets, and history. To begin, we focus on the local group, the small but significant community of galaxies to which the Milky Way belongs. This group consists of more than 50 galaxies, ranging from the massive spirals like the Milky Way and Andromeda, to tiny dwarf galaxies barely containing a few million stars. Even though they are spread across millions of light-years, these galaxies are gravitationally bound together, moving in a slow cosmic dance that has persisted for billions of years. Andromeda, our nearest large neighbor, is about 2.5 million light-years away. It is larger than the Milky Way, with more stars, and it shines faintly as a soft patch in the night sky on Earth when viewed from a dark location. Imagine drifting closer, seeing a vast spiral of billions of stars, each one possibly hosting worlds of its own. Andromeda moves slowly toward the Milky Way, a cosmic convergence that will not fully unfold for another 4 billion years. But even now, its presence is a gentle reminder that our galaxy is not alone. It exists as part of a larger community. Among the local groups, smaller members are the Large and Small Magellanic Clouds, visible from the southern hemisphere. These irregular dwarf galaxies may appear modest compared to giants like Andromeda, yet they hold beauty and significance. They are rich in gas, active in star formation, and historically they may have interacted with the Milky Way, leaving behind streams of stars and cosmic debris. In their faint glimmer, we glimpse the ongoing life of the universe, stars being born, evolving, and eventually fading away. Even tinier galaxies orbit quietly, often unnoticed as satellites of the larger ones. The Sagittarius dwarf, the Canis Major dwarf, and dozens of other small companions drift around our Milky Way. Some are being pulled apart by tidal forces, their stars gradually absorbed into the spiral disk or halo, adding to the richness of our galaxy. These dwarf galaxies are living reminders that even small structures can play a profound role in the evolution of larger systems, as we imagine floating among these galaxies. Notice the vast emptiness between them. Though the distances are immense, the gravitational pull keeps them linked, like neighbors connected by invisible threads. Over time, these galaxies move, interact, and sometimes collide, shaping the structure of a local group. This is a slow, graceful dance, imperceptible on human timescales, yet incredibly powerful across cosmic time. Take a deep breath and picture yourself drifting gently from the Milky Way toward Andromeda. Between the galaxies lies empty space, a vast expanse where starlight from billions of other suns reaches you faintly, like whispers across the void. You feel small, yes, but also profoundly connected to this grand cosmic family, floating among neighbors across millions of light years. Asterisk, as we glide deeper into the local group, we encounter a surprising variety of galactic forms. Not all galaxies are neat spirals like the Milky Way or Andromeda. Many are elliptical galaxies, smooth and rounded, containing older stars and very little gas. Others are irregular galaxies, seemingly chaotic in shape, yet brimming with star formation. This diversity reminds us that galaxies, like people or ecosystems, are shaped by history, interaction, and circumstance among these neighbors. One of the most fascinating is Triangulum Galaxy, or M33. This smaller spiral galaxy is about 3 million light-years away and shines faintly as a soft glow. Though it is smaller than both the Milky Way and Andromeda, it too hosts billions of stars and a few notable star-forming regions. It may even be gravitationally interacting with Andromeda, bound in a slow cosmic choreography that has been unfolding for billions of years beyond these familiar members. The local group is populated by dozens of dwarf spheroidal galaxies, small and faint, often orbiting larger galaxies like the Milky Way. These dwarfs may contain only a few million stars, yet they are crucial for understanding the evolution of galaxies. Some, like the Fernax dwarf and Sculptor dwarf, are old, their stars having formed nearly as early as the universe itself. They are silent witnesses to cosmic history, drifting quietly while the larger galaxies continue their spiral motions. The interactions between these galaxies are subtle yet profound. Streams of stars are often stripped from dwarf galaxies as they orbit the Milky Way, merging slowly into the halo and disk. Over billions of years, these events contribute to the growth of the Milky Way, adding both mass and diversity to our galactic home. It is a reminder that even the smallest neighbors have an impact, and that the universe is alive with gradual, invisible change. If you close your eyes and picture this scene, you can imagine drifting among the galaxies. The Milky Way stretches behind you, Andromeda ahead, and between them float the Triangulum Galaxy and countless dwarf galaxies, faint and delicate. Space is vast, but it is not empty. It is a network of neighbors connected by gravity, weaving a quiet tapestry across millions of light-years. Even the vast emptiness between these galaxies is not truly void. It contains intergalactic gas, tenuous and diffuse, and even dark matter that binds the galaxies together, though invisible. These components provide the gravitational scaffolding of the local group. The universe is full of hidden structure. And above all, above and below the galactic plane, it is full of potential places where stars might form, where galaxies might collide, and where cosmic history is written. Take a slow, deep breath. Imagine yourself floating calmly among these distant galaxies, drifting along the invisible currents that govern their motion. Though you are small in comparison, you are part of the same gravitational dance, gently moving through the cosmic ocean. The universe is not cold or lonely, it is vast, beautiful, and connected, and you are woven into its story. In this quiet, you may even begin to sense the timelessness of these structures. Galaxies move over millions and billions of years, slowly evolving, merging, and reshaping. The Milky Way itself is a product of these ancient interactions, a living record of cosmic history. Above, below, and all around, the local group is alive with silent motion. A neighborhood in which the sun and its planets drift as quietly as you do now, suspended in wonder and calm. As we journey ever farther into the vast architecture of the universe, we leave behind the local group and begin to perceive an even larger structure, the Laniakea supercluster. The word Laniakea comes from Hawaiian, meaning immense heaven, and it is a fitting name. This colossal assembly of galaxies stretches across over 500 million light-years, containing hundreds of thousands of galaxies, including our own Milky Way. To imagine Laniakea, picture a city of galaxies where each galaxy is a glowing building. And together they form districts, neighborhoods, and clusters. The local group itself is merely one small block within this sprawling metropolis. Neighboring clusters, such as the Virgo cluster, appear as bright, densely packed cores of stars and galaxies, while more distant regions are diffuse and subtle. Yet still part of the same gravitational structure, Laniakea is defined not just by the presence of galaxies, but by their gravitational flow. Each galaxy is moving, gently pulled along invisible rivers of gravity toward a common center of mass known as the Great Attractor. This central region exerts its influence over tens of millions of light-years, guiding the motion of galaxies in a slow, majestic dance. Imagine drifting along these flows, carried effortlessly by gravity, with countless galaxies moving in harmony around you. Within Laniakea, galaxies are grouped into smaller clusters. The Virgo cluster, visible faintly from Earth as a diffuse patch of light, contains thousands of galaxies tightly packed together. Farther out, the Hydra Centaurus supercluster and the Pavoindus spur form extensions of the supercluster, connecting galaxies across incomprehensible distances. Yet despite this vastness, all of these galaxies share a common fate. Drawn by gravity toward the Great Attractor at the heart of Laniakea, the Milky Way's motion through the supercluster is subtle but measurable. Over millions of years, we drift toward this central gravitational hub, moving at roughly 600 kilometers per second relative to the cosmic microwave background. It is a slow, quiet journey, imperceptible to our daily experience, yet profoundly significant on the scale of cosmic time. As you let your imagination float through Laniakea, notice how the supercluster is not a static structure. Galaxies twist, orbit, and occasionally collide. Streams of stars are pulled from smaller galaxies, merging into larger ones. Gas clouds drift through intergalactic space, sometimes igniting into new stars, sometimes fading quietly. Even in the vast emptiness between clusters, there is structure and motion, a delicate, intricate ballet of matter across the universe. The scale of Laniakea is almost impossible to comprehend. If you tried to travel from one edge to the other at the speed of light, it would take 500 million years. And yet, from our perspective on Earth, this immense structure is invisible to the naked eye. It exists in the subtle motions of galaxies, in the invisible flows of gravity, and in the patterns that astronomers have painstakingly mapped through decades of observation. Asterisk within Laniakea. One can distinguish different regions of density and flow. Dense clusters like Virgo shine brightly, while filaments and voids stretch outward, forming a cosmic web. These filaments are vast bridges of galaxies, spanning hundreds of millions of light years, connecting clusters in a lattice-like pattern. Between these filaments lie enormous voids regions, almost entirely devoid of galaxies, creating the impression of dark, silent expanses. Imagine floating along one of these filaments. Galaxies drift past you, each containing billions of stars. Some are spirals, like the Milky Way, with orderly arms of stars. Others are elliptical, glowing smoothly without the distinct patterns of a disk. Even irregular galaxies, chaotic and clumpy, have their place, adding diversity to the tapestry. You feel carried along by the invisible currents of gravity, flowing effortlessly toward the Great Attractor, part of a journey that has lasted billions of years. The Great Attractor itself is mysterious, hidden behind clouds of gas and dust that obscure it from direct view. Yet its gravitational influence is unmistakable, drawing entire clusters of galaxies in a slow, inexorable pull. Our own galaxy, along with the local group and surrounding clusters, is moving steadily toward this region, an invisible pilgrimage through the supercluster. It is humbling to consider that even on the largest scales, nothing in the universe truly stands still. All is motion, all is connection. Laniakea also reminds us of the nested hierarchy of cosmic structures. The Milky Way belongs to the local group, which belongs to the Virgo cluster, which belongs to the Laniakea supercluster. Beyond Laniakea lie other superclusters, forming cosmic filaments and walls, and separating enormous voids. This web-like structure is the large-scale architecture of the universe, stretching across billions of light-years. It is a universe both immense and orderly, chaotic yet patterned, vast yet intimately connected through gravity. As you drift through these supercluster scale flows, allow yourself to feel the scale without fear. Though the distances and timescales are unimaginable, there is serenity in this vastness. Each galaxy, including our own, is part of a greater whole. There is beauty in the motion, elegance in the patterns, and reassurance in the sense of belonging to something far larger than oneself. Finally, consider the stillness within the motion. Even as galaxies drift toward the Great Attractor, the supercluster itself changes over eons. Collisions, mergers, and star formation continue quietly. Laniakea is alive in a slow cosmic rhythm, a structure of immense beauty and profound mystery. Floating among these galaxies, you feel a sense of timelessness, an understanding that the universe is not chaotic, but orchestrated on scales beyond human imagination. In this gentle vastness, you are both a witness and a participant. The Milky Way, your solar system, and even you are part of Laniakea, moving along the flows of gravity connected to hundreds of thousands of galaxies suspended in the immense heavens. Let that thought carry you, a soothing reminder that you are part of the immense, beautiful, and eternal cosmos. Having explored the local group and the Laniakea supercluster, it is time to widen our perspective even further. The universe is not a simple collection of galaxies and clusters. Instead, it is an intricate, interconnected cosmic web, a vast structure composed of filaments, walls, nodes, and voids, stretching across unimaginable distances. Imagine floating in the void beyond Laniakea. As you look around, you see long, slender filaments of galaxies, stretching like glowing threads through the darkness. These cosmic filaments form the scaffolding of the universe, guiding the motion of galaxies over hundreds of millions of light-years. Each filament is composed of thousands, sometimes millions of galaxies. Their light, faint but persistent, a soft luminescence against the backdrop of the infinite. Between these filaments lie the cosmic voids, enormous regions of nearly empty space. These voids can be hundreds of millions of light-years across, with only a few isolated galaxies drifting silently within them. If galaxies are islands, the voids are the vast oceans, providing room for the web structure to take shape. Despite their emptiness, these regions are essential. They define the contours of the filaments and provide contrast, allowing the grand architecture of the universe to emerge. The cosmic web is not static. Over billions of years, gravity slowly pulls matter along these filaments, funneling galaxies toward dense nodes where clusters and superclusters reside. In these nodes, thousands of galaxies gather, interacting, merging, and forming new stars. It is as if the universe itself is alive, breathing slowly and steadily through vast visible currents. As you drift through this cosmic web, imagine yourself moving along a filament. Galaxies glide past like floating lanterns, each with its own stars, planets, and mysteries. The emptiness between filaments feels vast, yet safe and calm, providing space for reflection. You are carried gently by gravitational flows, tracing the hidden architecture that holds the universe together. Even beyond the Laniakea supercluster, the cosmic web continues indefinitely. Other superclusters, like Shapley and Sloan Great Wall, connected through these filaments, forming networks of unimaginable scale. When seen together, the universe resembles a luminous lace, delicate and intricate, spanning billions of light-years. This is the true architecture of the cosmos, a structure both ordered and organic, immense yet harmonious. The cosmic web is not merely a collection of galaxies. Within the filaments lie rivers of gas, the raw material for future stars. These intergalactic gases drift along the same gravitational paths as galaxies, slowly condensing to form new stellar systems over billions of years. Even in the darkness between clusters, the seeds of future galaxies and stars are present, quietly waiting for time to sculpt them. Nodes in the cosmic web are regions of intense gravitational interaction. Here, galaxies collide and merge, creating spectacular bursts of star formation. Supermassive black holes at the centers of massive galaxies pull surrounding matter into spiral dances, emitting energy that can be detected across millions of light-years. These nodes are the universe's grand cities, bustling with activity. While filaments act as highways guiding matter toward them, void regions, by contrast, are peaceful and empty, offering perspective on the scale of the universe. Imagine drifting slowly through one of these voids. You see galaxies only occasionally, far apart, each one a lone island in the vast ocean of space. These empty spaces, though silent, contribute to the balance and rhythm of the universe, allowing filaments and clusters to stand out with clarity and grandeur. The largest known structures in this cosmic web are awe-inspiring. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, for example, stretches over 10 billion light-years, possibly the largest structure in the observable universe. Its existence challenges our understanding of cosmic uniformity, yet it stands as a testament to the scale and complexity of everything beyond Laniakea, floating within or near such structures. One feels the vastness of space in an almost meditative way, calm that comes from recognizing patterns spanning incomprehensible distances as you imagine drifting along the cosmic web. Notice the harmony in the chaos. Galaxies, clusters, and superclusters move according to gravity, yet their motions are smooth and flowing. The universe is vast beyond imagination, but it is not disordered. It is a living tapestry with filaments connecting structures, voids providing contrast, and clusters pulsing with energy. Finally, allow yourself to feel connected to this grand web. Though distances are immense and human life is brief in comparison, we are part of this structure. The Milky Way, the local group Laniakea, and countless other galaxies all participate in this vast dance. Floating here, you are part of the universe's rhythm, gently carried along by gravity, drifting peacefully among stars, galaxies, and the cosmic fabric itself. As we drift farther into the cosmic expanse, past the local group Laniakea and the cosmic web, a simple yet profound question arises. Is there an up or down in the universe? On Earth, directions are clear. Up points toward the sky, down toward the ground. But in space, there is no absolute reference. Gravity, planets, galaxies, and clusters define local directions. But the universe itself has no top or bottom. Take a deep breath and let your imagination float. You are no longer tethered to a planet. There is no horizon, no familiar up or down. Instead, there is context, local, regional, and cosmic, each giving meaning to directions in its own way. Around your solar system, down is toward the sun, up is away from it. But these directions change as the solar system orbits the Milky Way. The Milky Way itself defines a plainly galactic plane where most stars lie. Up might be considered above the plane, down below it. Yet this is entirely relative. A star in the halo above the plane might see our solar system as below it, while a star in Andromeda sees both galaxies from an entirely different perspective. In this sense, up and down are not universal. They are local conventions, useful for mapping and navigation, but meaningless on the cosmic scale. Even as we consider the local group, directions become more relative. Within the group, the Milky Way and Andromeda orbit a common center of mass. Which galaxy is above? Which is below? The labels exist only in reference to human observation and convenience. Gravity governs motion, not absolute orientation. Filaments of the cosmic web stretch across millions of light years without any inherent verticality, carrying galaxies along invisible rivers of gravity. Imagine yourself floating now beyond Laniakea, in the vast inter-supercluster space. Around you, hundreds of thousands of galaxies drift, forming filaments and walls across unimaginable distances. Here, up and down truly vanish. You can face any direction, yet no orientation is more natural than another. The universe is a three-dimensional ocean flowing in all directions, without intrinsic top or bottom. Even when we observe phenomena like cosmic expansion, the absence of absolute directions becomes clear. The universe is expanding uniformly, carrying galaxies away from one another. From any galaxy's perspective, it appears that all others are receding. This expansion is isotropic, meaning it looks the same in every direction. There is no center, no upward or downward toward which galaxies move. Space itself stretches evenly, redefining our sense of orientation entirely at smaller scales. Gravity can create a sense of direction locally. Stars orbit galactic centers, planets orbit stars, and moons orbit planets. These orbits define planes and axes of rotation. The Milky Way spins, Andromeda spins, and the Sun orbits within the galaxy. Within each system, we can define what is above and below relative to that plane. Yet, zoom out even slightly, and these planes intersect at various angles. There is no universal cosmic up, only relative directions defined by the motion of matter. Even phenomena such as cosmic microwave background, CMB radiation, provide a reference. Yet again, it is relative. The CMB is the afterglow of the Big Bang, present in all directions. Astronomers use tiny variations in the CMB to measure our motion relative to the universe. From Earth, we detect a slight dipole, showing we are moving in a specific direction. But this motion is just relative to the CMB. It does not define a cosmic up or down. If we continue to drift deeper into intergalactic space, the distinction between directions becomes even more abstract. Gravity still dominates the motion of galaxies locally, but the universe at the largest scales is homogeneous and isotropic, meaning it looks the same everywhere and in every direction. From this perspective, the concept of up and down disappears entirely. There is only context, flow, and relative orientation, not an absolute axis. Yet, despite the absence of true cosmic up and down, humans naturally seek to orient themselves. Astronomers define coordinate systems, such as the galactic coordinate system, to navigate the sky. They assign axes and planes to the galaxy, the local group, and even the cosmic web. These conventions allow precise mapping and measurement, but remain human-made. They provide comfort and structure in an otherwise directionless cosmos. Take a moment now, close your eyes, and visualize floating freely. There is no up, no down. Galaxies drift past in every direction. Light from distant stars reaches you softly. Gravity pulls gently along invisible pathways, guiding the motions of everything you see. You are suspended in three-dimensional space. Part of a universe where directions are relative, flows are constant. And beauty exists in the freedom of motion. The cosmic perspective reminds us of humility and awe. On Earth, we rely on directions to navigate, to plan, to organize. In space, such orientation loses meaning. There is only the vastness, the motion, the interconnected structures of galaxies, clusters, and superclusters. And yet, this freedom carries a sense of serenity, reminder that even in an incomprehensibly vast universe, there is harmony and order, guided not by up and down, but by gravity, motion, and time, as we continue drifting through the cosmos. It is natural to wonder how humans perceive direction in a universe without up or down. Our brains are wired to organize space relative to gravity, the horizon, and familiar landmarks. On Earth, these cues are constant, so up is skyward and down is toward the ground. But in the vast reaches of interstellar space, these reference points vanish, leaving only relative motion, orientation, and context. Astronauts experience this firsthand in orbit. Inside the International Space Station, there is no inherent up or down. Crew members float freely, choosing arbitrary floors for convenience, defining temporary orientation with walls, instruments, or modules. In the same way, our understanding of up and down in the universe is contextual, dictated by local structures rather than any absolute cosmic law. Imagine now drifting between clusters. Along the cosmic web, or beyond Linear K, you observe vast filaments of galaxies stretching across hundreds of millions of light-years. Nodes of activity shine like distant cities, while voids stretch silently in every direction. There is no top, no bottom, only endless space, filled with patterns of matter shaped by gravity. The concept of up and down, so essential on Earth, dissolves in the face of this immensity. Yet, paradoxically, this absence of direction offers comfort. Floating in this three-dimensional freedom, you are not constrained by orientation, velocity, or perspective. Gravity gently guides galaxies along invisible paths, and you drift along with them peacefully, without the need to define your place. The universe's vastness encourages introspection, a sense of calm that comes from recognizing the scale and interconnectedness of all things. The human need for orientation is mirrored in astronomy. We define planes, coordinate systems, and axes not because the universe demands it, but because we seek understanding. The galactic plane of the Milky Way, the equatorial plane of Earth, even supercluster maps all are tools for navigation and comprehension. They give structure to the otherwise boundless cosmos, offering familiarity in an infinite expanse. Consider the philosophical perspective. The absence of absolute up or down is a reminder of humility. What feels significant on human scales, a sky above, ground below's negligible in the grand tapestry of space. Galaxies, clusters, and filaments follow their paths, oblivious to labels. By letting go of conventional directions, we align ourselves with the universe's natural flow, embracing perspective, awe, and serenity, floating in this vastness. You may begin to sense the profound beauty in relativity. Every galaxy has its own sense of up and down, defined by rotation, motion, and local gravity. Every star, every planet, every observer experiences directions uniquely. The universe is democratic in this way. No direction is privileged. Yet every motion is governed, orderly, and interconnected. This understanding carries a gentle lesson for reflection. Just as the universe has no intrinsic up or down, our concerns, worries, and daily routines are small within the cosmic scale. Yet we are part of this majestic structure, moving along with gravity, time, and space, witnessing the dance of galaxies and the flows of matter. It is both humbling and comforting, a reminder that even in the absence of absolute orientation, there is rhythm, pattern, and purpose as you let your mind drift further. Imagine your body floating freely through intergalactic space. There is no ceiling, no floor, only endless three-dimensional freedom. Stars and galaxies pass silently, their motions graceful and eternal. Gravity guides them, but there is no pressure, no weight. No need for an up or down. You are at peace, suspended in the immensity, embraced by the infinite, part of the universe's calm and timeless rhythm. Finally, allow yourself to absorb this serenity. Up and down, near and far. Left and right, these concepts belong to human experience on Earth. In the cosmos, they fade, leaving only connection, motion, and the quiet beauty of the universe. And in this quiet, you feel a profound stillness, a sense of belonging, and a deep, calming understanding. The universe is vast, orderly, and welcoming. Even when it transcends our familiar notions of direction, drift gently. Breathe slowly and let the cosmic expanse lull you into reflection, peace, and wonder. Here, in the absence of absolute up or down, there is only freedom, only calm, and only the endless, gentle flow of the universe. Asterisk as we near the final stages of our cosmic journey. It is time to gently return our focus to a familiar yet extraordinary vantage point. Earth from the vastness of the local group, the Laniakea supercluster, and the cosmic web. The planet we call home may seem small, and yet it is here, on this pale blue dot, that human consciousness has arisen, capable of reflecting upon the universe, exploring its mysteries, and dreaming beyond its bounds. Imagine yourself floating just above Earth, as if you have left the surface entirely. Beneath you, continents and oceans unfold in serene beauty. The curvature of the planet reminds you of its delicate scale, suspended in space by gravity, moving in perfect harmony around the sun. From this vantage point, you feel a sense of calm and safety, enveloped by the thin atmosphere. Surrounded by the quiet hum of life and motion below, Earth is more than a physical object, it is a home for consciousness, a stage upon which billions of lives play out. From this tiny orb, humanity has begun to explore outward, first to the moon, then into the reaches of the solar system, and through telescopes and spacecraft, into the depths of the galaxy. And as we gaze outward, a perspective loops back. Understanding Earth requires understanding its place within the larger cosmic tapestry. From a cosmic perspective, the planet's motions are mesmerizing. Earth rotates, creating day and night, and tilts slightly on its axis, giving rise to the seasons. It orbits the Sun, traveling approximately 30 kilometers per second, tracing an immense circle through space. Even our solar system is moving within the Milky Way at roughly 828,000 kilometers per hour, while the galaxy itself drifts through the local group. and the local group flows toward the great attractor within Laniakea. Each of these layers of motion is imperceptible in daily life, yet profoundly significant on a cosmic scale. Pause and consider the human experience amid these motions. While the planet spins beneath your feet, your mind observes, dreams, and wonders. You experience up and down, seasons, sunrises, and sunsets. Yet all of this is a localized phenomenon within the vast three-dimensional freedom of the universe. On Earth, up is toward the sky, but beyond the planet, this notion dissolves, revealing the relativity and majesty of the cosmos. From space, Earth glows with life. Cities sparkle faintly at night, patterns of human activity visible even from orbit. Oceans shimmer softly under sunlight. Clouds drift in gentle formations across the atmosphere. The planet hums with the quiet rhythm of life, oceans flowing, winds shifting, ecosystems breathing. Within this dynamic yet calm environment, humanity has developed science, culture, art, and imagination, all of which allow us to connect with the wider universe. The human perspective is unique. No other species has yet achieved the ability to look outward and comprehend structures like the Milky Way, Laniakea, or the cosmic web. Our curiosity drives telescopes to distant galaxies, satellites to measure cosmic background radiation, and simulations to model the flows of matter across billions of light-years. We are tiny, yes, but our awareness extends far beyond our physical scale, allowing us to observe and reflect on the universe itself. Even psychologically, this awareness is grounding. Recognizing Earth's place in the cosmos cultivates humility and wonder, a reminder that our lives, though short, are part of an immense continuum. The planet rotates, galaxies drift, clusters flow, and the universe expands, indifferent to individual concerns, yet providing context, rhythm, and connection. Human experience is nested within these motions, providing both a sense of scale and a profound sense of belonging. Consider the layers of perspective available to you. Close your eyes and imagine. First, the surface of Earth with mountains, rivers, and forests. Next, the entire globe spinning silently in space. Then the solar system drifting along its galactic orbit, followed by the local group of galaxies, all moving toward the great attractor. Then Laniakea, its superclusters stretching across hundreds of millions of light-years. And finally, the cosmic web, a luminous lace of filaments and voids extending to the observable horizon. Each layer is nested within the next, and within all of them, Earth holds its delicate, precious place. Take a slow, deep breath. Let your awareness expand outward while simultaneously anchoring in the calm of the planet below. Earth is a sanctuary of life, a platform for consciousness, and a reference point from which we can explore the cosmos. It is both ordinary and extraordinary, fragile yet enduring, small yet infinite in its significance to those who call it home. In this gentle reflection, you may notice a balance between immensity and intimacy. The universe is vast, full of galaxies, clusters, and superclusters, yet Earth is intimate, teeming with life, memory, and experience. Human perception bridges these scales, allowing us to traverse in thought what we cannot embody. The planet beneath you is the starting point for understanding, a place to anchor wonder, curiosity, and serenity. As we continue our reflection, it is essential to consider how human consciousness shapes our understanding of the universe. While the cosmos itself does not provide up or down, direction or scale in the way we experience on Earth, our minds create frameworks to interpret these vast distances and motions. Science, mathematics, and imagination are tools that allow us to navigate the incomprehensible, bridging the gap between the familiar and the infinite. From this vantage point, Earth becomes both a laboratory and a haven. Every detail of the planet, the flow of rivers, the growth of forests, the rhythm of oceans anchors us in a recognizable reality. Yet, simultaneously, it is the launching pad for thought, allowing the mind to soar beyond the local, beyond the galaxy, into the vastness of Laniakea and the cosmic web. It is here that perspective and serenity intertwine, grounding in the tangible while expanding into the infinite. Our perception of space and motion is necessarily relative. We measure Earth's rotation, track the solar system's orbit around the Milky Way, and map galaxy clusters and superclusters. Yet each of these motions is contextual, understood through reference points we create. From this perspective, the Milky Way is not just a spiral of stars. It is a home, a system of order within a larger order, part of a continuum that spans billions of years and countless light years. Even more profoundly, human understanding invites emotional connection. As we contemplate cosmic scales, there is room for awe, wonder, and calm. The knowledge that Earth is part of a local group itself within Laniakea, suspended in the cosmic web, reminds us of both our fragility and our significance. While small in the grand scheme, we are observers, participants, and reflectors of the universe, capable of perceiving beauty, complexity, and harmony across unimaginable distances. Consider for a moment the cycles of life and time on Earth. Seasons shift. Tides rise and fall. Stars trace arcs across the night sky. All of these phenomena are local expressions of larger cosmic principles: gravity, motion, and energy mirrored across the universe in the dance of galaxies, the flow of clusters, and the expansion of space itself. Through these cycles, humans find rhythm, comfort, and a connection to the patterns that govern the cosmos. The human mind naturally seeks orientation, structure, and meaning. On Earth, up is skyward, down is toward the ground. But the universe teaches us that orientation is relative, that our perspective is only one among countless others. Embracing this relativity can be profoundly calming. The realization that no direction is privileged allows us to feel free, floating gently within the vast network of existence, carried by the flows of matter and energy and suspended in time in this light. Earth is not merely a planet, it is a lens for understanding. From its surface, we observe stars, track the motions of galaxies, and map the cosmic web. From its orbit, we glimpse the curvature of the world and the vastness beyond. Through telescopes, satellites, and probes, we extend our senses further, bridging the gap between human scale and cosmic scale. This duality, the familiar and the infinities, the essence of our perspective. Imagine, then, drifting above the planet as night falls. The continents darken, lights flicker in cities, and the oceans reflect the final glimmers of sunlight. Beyond the atmosphere, stars appear, faint yet steady, scattered across the galaxy. And beyond the Milky Way, other galaxies shimmer as part of the cosmic web. Each layer is nested within the next, a cascade of scale and structure, a reminder that perspective is both personal and universal. Finally, allow yourself to feel connected and grounded simultaneously. You are on Earth, a place of life and familiarity. Yet your mind floats freely through galaxies, clusters, and the cosmic web. The motions of the planet, the orbit of the solar system, the flow of Laniakea, and the expansion of the universe all coexist with your consciousness, quietly shaping your awareness and providing calm, serenity, and wonder. The Earth, in this grand view, becomes a symbol of balance. It is the anchor that allows the mind to explore the cosmos without fear, the reference point that makes infinity comprehensible, and the home that reminds us of life, beauty, and meaning amidst the vastness. As you drift in thought through the universe, remember that your place is both humble and extraordinary, grounded yet free, part of a rhythm that stretches across billions of years and billions of light years. Take a deep breath. Feel the gentle rotation of the planet, the orbit of the solar system, and the motion of the galaxy. Imagine the cosmic web stretching infinitely, the filaments guiding galaxies in elegant paths. and the universe expanding silently in all directions. You are part of this magnificent structure, a witness and participant, floating peacefully through the endless, beautiful, and harmonious cosmos. Asterisk as we drift gently through the cosmos. It is time to pause and reflect on some of the most astonishing and unexpected realities that surround our universe, our galaxy, and our planet. These facts are both humbling and mesmerizing, offering a gentle mix of wonder, curiosity, and relaxation, perfect for guiding the mind into a serene state. Consider the scale of light itself. Light travels at roughly 299,792 kilometers per second. It takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds for sunlight to reach Earth, bridging a distance of approximately 150 million kilometers in mere moments. Yet, even at this speed, light from our nearest star beyond the Sun, Proxima Centauri, takes over 4 years to arrive. In the grand cosmic scale, time and distance stretch our imagination, reminding us of the vastness we inhabit. Another subtle wonder: the universe is mostly invisible. Ordinary matter, the stars, planets, and galaxies we can see, makes up only about 5% of the total universe. The rest is composed of dark matter and dark energy, mysterious substances that shape the structure of the cosmos yet elude direct detection. Dark matter acts as scaffolding, guiding galaxies along filaments of the cosmic web, while dark energy drives the accelerated expansion of the universe. These invisible forces are everywhere, quietly orchestrating the grand cosmic dance. Now, consider Earth itself. Our planet is a rare oasis of life, perfectly positioned in the solar system's habitable zone. Its magnetic field shields us from harmful solar radiation, while the atmosphere regulates temperature and distributes water, ensuring that life can flourish. Every breath, every raindrop, every ray of sunlight is part of a delicate balance, a harmonious system that has sustained life for billions of years. Moving outward again. Imagine the Milky Way. It contains hundreds of billions of stars, yet its spiral structure is not static. Stars orbit the galactic center at varying speeds, creating a graceful, ever-changing pattern. Within the galaxy are vast clouds of gas and dust, nurseries where new stars and planets are born. These regions, though immense and distant, are alive with motion and creation, quietly unfolding the cycles of matter and energy. Even more surprising is the diversity of planets we've discovered beyond our solar system exoplanets. Some are enormous gas giants, hotter than the sun's surface, orbiting perilously close to their stars. Others are rocky worlds in the habitable zone, potentially teeming with conditions suitable for life. These distant planets remind us that our solar system is just one arrangement among countless variations, a single note in a symphony that stretches across the galaxy. The universe also exhibits extremes of time and temperature that defy everyday experience. Stars burn for millions or billions of years, yet neutron stars formed from supernova remnants are so dense that a teaspoon of their matter would weigh billions of tons. Black holes warp space and time, creating regions from which even light cannot escape. And yet, despite this intensity, the cosmos also provides calm. Vast interstellar voids, silent and empty, stretching across hundreds of millions of light-years, offering space for reflection and serenity. Even closer to home, Earth is full of hidden marvels. Beneath the surface, immense oceans cover more than 70% of the planet, containing more than 20 million tons of gold, dispersed and dissolved in trace amounts. Mountains rise in silent majesty, slowly shaped by tectonic forces over millions of years. The planet's magnetic poles wander, its rotation subtly slows. And yet life persists, resilient and adaptive, forming a rhythm that mirrors the larger motions of the cosmos. Our understanding of the universe continues to surprise. The cosmic microwave background reveals the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, a relic radiation filling every corner of the cosmos. Observing it is like looking back in time nearly 13.8 billion years, offering a glimpse of the universe's infancy. Tiny fluctuations in this radiation seeded the formation of galaxies, clusters, and superclusters, showing that even subtle patterns in the past shape the grand structures we see today. There are also phenomena that challenge intuition. A teaspoon of neutron star material is unimaginably dense, and supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies weigh billions of times the mass of the Sun. Gamma ray bursts, the most energetic explosions in the universe, can release more energy in a few seconds than our Sun will emit over its entire lifetime. And yet, despite these extremes, most of the universe remains calm and dark. A silent expanse where gravity gently shapes matter over eons. Even within human perception, there are surprises. Stars that appear bright in our night sky are not necessarily close. Many are incredibly distant but luminous enough to outshine closer neighbors. Some stars are ancient, existing for billions of years, while others are newborn, forming in distant stellar nurseries. The night sky, familiar and comforting, is a mosaic of time and space, blending the past, present, and future into a serene cosmic panorama. Finally, consider the interconnectedness of all things. From the smallest particle in your body to the most distant galaxy, the universe is linked through gravity, energy, and motion. Earth orbits the Sun. The solar system moves through the Milky Way, and the Milky Way flows within the local group. Superclusters dance within the cosmic web, all guided by invisible forces. This grand connectivity is not just scientific. It is a source of calm and reflection, reminding us that even in the vastness, there is coherence, pattern, and beauty. Continuing our journey through astonishing truths. Let us consider the scale and structure of the universe. One of the most mesmerizing concepts is the cosmic web, a vast, filamentary structure connecting galaxies across unimaginable distances. Imagine enormous threads of matter stretching hundreds of millions of light-years, with galaxies embedded along them. Between these filaments lie cosmic voids, seemingly empty regions far larger than our entire galaxy. The universe is, in essence, a delicate lace of matter and energy, quietly moving and evolving over billions of years. Within this cosmic tapestry, even ordinary galaxies hold remarkable surprises. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, contains between 100 and 400 billion stars, each potentially hosting planetary systems. And yet, it is just one among roughly 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each galaxy has its own story. Stars being born, others dying, black holes devouring matter at the core. Clusters of stars dancing in intricate gravitational patterns. The diversity is staggering, and yet all follow the same cosmic laws, quietly orchestrated by gravity. Now, let us reflect on the speed of light and cosmic distances. Light years define astronomical distances, but even that measure stretches our imagination. When we observe a star 10,000 light years away, we see it not as it is now, but as it was 10,000 years ago. We are, in essence, time travelers, looking back into the history of the universe. Some galaxies we see are so distant that their light has traveled for billions of years, allowing us to glimpse the infancy of the cosmos. This perspective blends awe with serenity, as we realize our view encompasses both space and deep time. Closer to home, Earth itself holds mysteries that often go unnoticed. Beneath the oceans, deep-sea vents host ecosystems thriving without sunlight, depending solely on chemical energy. Microbial life in these extreme environments challenges our understanding of biology and hints at the possibilities of life elsewhere in the cosmos. On land, deserts and rainforests demonstrate resilience and adaptation. Ecosystems shaped by climate, evolution, and subtle interactions over millions of years. The world beneath our feet is just as surprising as the cosmos above. Consider the fragility of planetary systems. Earth exists in a delicate balance, protected by its magnetic field, atmosphere, and orbit. Yet, impacts from asteroids, comets, or solar flares have the potential to alter life dramatically. History has shown that large impacts can reshape ecosystems, wipe out species, and influence evolution. This awareness encourages a sense of care and connection to the planet, underscoring both its vulnerability and its resilience. Even the physics of the universe is full of astonishing details. Quantum phenomena, such as entanglement, suggest that particles separated by vast distances can influence one another instantly. Dark matter, though invisible, dominates the mass of galaxies and clusters, shaping their formation. Black holes warp space-time, bending light and even swallowing information in ways we are only beginning to understand. These phenomena, while abstract, enrich our understanding of reality and inspire wonder at the elegant complexity of existence. Returning to human perception, the night sky offers daily surprises. Stars that appear as a single point may actually be binary or multiple star systems locked in intricate orbits. Nebulae, seemingly static from Earth, are clouds of gas and dust slowly forming stars and planets over thousands of years. Meteor showers remind us that Earth moves through cosmic debris, capturing a glimpse of the solar system's history. The night sky is not just beautiful. It is a dynamic, living canvas of motion, time, and transformation. We also encounter mind-bending cosmic coincidences. For example, the Sun and Moon appear almost exactly the same size in Earth's sky, allowing for total solar eclipses. This rare alignment is temporary on cosmic timescales, a fleeting phenomenon that gives us a window to witness celestial mechanics in action. The fact that we exist at a time when such alignments occur is a gentle reminder of the universe's temporal depth and the preciousness of our perspective. And yet, the universe is not only vast and extreme, it is also filled with subtle beauty. Pulsars rotate with perfect precision, emitting beams of radiation like cosmic lighthouses. Aurorae dance across polar skies, energized by interactions between solar wind and Earth's magnetic field. The Milky Way glows faintly in the night sky, a reminder of our galactic home. These phenomena, small in the cosmic scale, bring calm, wonder, and reflection to the observer, connecting human consciousness to the rhythms of space. Finally, consider the interconnectedness of all things. From the tiniest atom in your body to the largest supercluster in the observable universe, everything follows the same cosmic laws: gravity, motion, energy, and time. Earth orbits the Sun. The solar system orbits the Milky Way. Galaxies move within Laniakea, and superclusters drift along the cosmic web. Every layer of structure is linked, forming a harmonious network across space and time. Recognizing this connectivity instills calm, awe, and a profound sense of belonging in the universe. As you let these thoughts settle, allow yourself to drift in quiet reflection. The universe is vast, complex, and full of surprises, yet it is also orderly and serene. Each star, planet, and galaxy is part of a grand design, moving along predictable paths, interconnected by invisible forces. Earth, with its life, ecosystems, and human consciousness, is both a unique jewel and a participant in this magnificent structure. Let your mind float gently through these astonishing realities, absorbing the knowledge that the universe is simultaneously extreme, subtle, mysterious, and harmonious. Feel the calm of cosmic rhythms, the elegance of motion, and the serenity of your place within it. You are both observer and participant, floating peacefully in the endless, beautiful, and interconnected cosmos. As our journey through the solar system, galaxies, superclusters, and the cosmic web draws to a close, it is natural to pause and reflect on the philosophical truths that arise from this exploration. The universe, vast and intricate, offers more than knowledge. It provides perspective, serenity, and a deeper connection to existence. Here in these final moments, we allow our minds to settle, floating between the tangible and the infinite. We began our voyage with Earth, a delicate oasis of life, spinning silently in space. From this vantage, we expanded our awareness to the solar system, observing planets and moons, the sun's radiant energy, and the quiet gravitational dance that holds everything in balance. Each step outward revealed a larger, more intricate web. From neighboring stars and exoplanets to the Milky Way, the local group, and the immense Laniakea Supercluster. Through this journey, one truth becomes apparent. The universe is both immense and intimate. On one hand, galaxies, clusters, and filaments stretch across hundreds of millions of light years, dwarfing our individual lives. On the other hand, consciousness allows us to reflect, observe, and feel connected to these distant phenomena. Our minds bridge the gap between the microscopic and the cosmic, creating meaning, beauty, and wonder in the process. Philosophically, universe challenges our notions of priority and perspective. Up and down, near and far, life and death, these concepts are fluid on a cosmic scale. Gravity defines motion, not direction. Galaxies follow paths dictated by matter and energy, indifferent to human conventions. Yet in this indifference lies comfort. The universe flows along its rhythms, and within those rhythms there is stability, predictability, and harmony. Consider the temporal dimension. Time in the universe stretches from the Big Bang to billions of years into the future. Stars live and die, galaxies collide, and black holes persist for eons. Yet from our human perspective, these changes appear almost frozen. This juxtaposition, human brevity against cosmic eternity, invites reflection. Our daily concerns, though significant to us, are small against the backdrop of universal processes, offering a sense of humility and calm. The cosmic web itself, with its filaments and voids, embodies interconnectedness. Galaxies flow along invisible threads. Superclusters drift toward gravitational attractors, and even the tiniest particle contributes to the structure of space. Recognizing this interconnection encourages a philosophical awareness. Nothing exists in isolation. From the rotation of Earth to the motions of superclusters, everything participates in a larger, coherent system. From a human perspective, this awareness nurtures both awe and serenity. We realize that we are simultaneously insignificant and extraordinary. Each individual life is fleeting, yet each consciousness has the capacity to reflect upon, understand, and appreciate the vastness surrounding it. This duality, small yet aware, transient yet contemplative, is at the heart of our cosmic experience. Even our perception of time and space is relative. The same physical laws govern motion in a distant galaxy and the drift of planets in our solar system. Yet our minds interpret these laws through a local lens, creating frameworks of understanding, order, and meaning. Philosophically, this teaches us adaptability. Perspective is not absolute, and understanding deepens when we embrace relativity. Now imagine floating in the cosmic expanse, beyond the solar system, beyond the Milky Way, where the structures of the universe stretch across unimaginable distances. Stars twinkle faintly, galaxies drift silently, and the cosmic web hums with invisible energy. In this quiet, one can perceive the rhythm of existence, cycles of formation, transformation, and dissolution, all orchestrated by gravity, energy, and time. It is a rhythm both grand and calming, inviting the mind to align with the universe's flow. This perspective also inspires gratitude. We are observers capable of contemplating stars, galaxies, and cosmic filaments. We can marvel at the birth of stars, the dance of planets, and the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. We can witness, intellectually and emotionally, phenomena that occur on scales both immense and minute. This awareness fosters reverence, not only for the universe, but for our own place within it. philosophically. One might also reflect on impermanence and continuity. Stars burn and die, galaxies collide, and cosmic structures evolve. Similarly, Earth changes, life adapts, and human civilizations rise and fall. Yet, within this impermanence is continuity, matter, and energy persist, reshaping into new forms, maintaining the universe's elegance. Understanding this cycle offers calm, a gentle reminder that change is natural and beauty persists in transformation. From the perspective of existence and consciousness, humans occupy a unique niche. We are small, yet capable of understanding vast cosmic principles. Our minds can perceive structure, trace motion, and extrapolate history and future. Consciousness allows reflection, curiosity, and the emotional response of awe. It is perhaps the universe experiencing itself. Through observers capable of marveling at the infinite and reflecting on their profound transience. As we conclude this final chapter, let us return our focus to Earth, the home from which this journey began. Beneath the atmosphere, life continues, oceans flow, forests breathe, and humans dream. The planet is a sanctuary of life, a lens for perception, and a bridge to the cosmos. In your mind, imagine gently drifting closer to Earth, feeling its rotation, observing its beauty, and appreciating your connection to every cycle, every motion, and every star in the sky. Finally, take a deep, slow breath. Reflect on the journey from the solar system to the cosmic web, from the planets to galaxies, from clusters to superclusters. Let your mind settle into the serenity of this vast, interconnected, and beautiful universe. Feel the calm of gravity, the rhythm of rotation, the quiet hum of cosmic time. Allow yourself to absorb the awe, the wonder, and the profound peace that comes from understanding your place in the cosmos. The universe has no absolute up or down, yet it has order. It is immense, yet comprehensible through curiosity. It is silent, yet alive with motion and rhythm. And in this understanding, we find serenity, reflection, and a profound sense of belonging. So, as this journey comes to a gentle close, let yourself drift into quiet reflection. You have traveled through time and space, witnessed the majesty of stars and galaxies, and contemplated the depth of existence itself. Now, with calm and awe in your heart, allow yourself to rest, knowing that the universe continues its elegant dance and that you, in your own way, are part of its infinite beauty. The journey ends here, but the reflection, wonder, and serenity continue as the universe carries on, timeless, vast, and magnificent.